How y'all doing? Got them kids back at school, right? Yeah, hurry up. Drop them children off to the schoolhouse. Now remember that child that you dropped off because you just spent a lot of time with them. So when that teacher give you a call saying, hey, I need some help with this, just remember you know your child. Now, dropping our kids off to school isn't everything that's needed. Like we actually gotta prepare ourselves and our children to go back to school. Like, do you have a back to school plan? Have you figured out the logistics? Like what time y'all gonna wake up? What time the child going to bed? How the child gonna get to school? How the child gonna get back home from school? Like things like that are very important. Also, when you think about attire, think about like, is the school wearing uniforms? If the school not wearing uniforms, like you want to make sure that you're sending your child to school presentable, right? In addition to that, we want to make sure that we get our kids the right supplies. Like in the past, and I'm a parent, so in the past, we'll just go to the store and grab the things that we used to need when we was in school. But be cognizant of the fact that some of these schools nowadays have a special list. You can get that from the school, you can get that from the teacher. Then I seen even in stores like Walmart, they had specific lists from specific schools. So if you get a note from the teacher the first month of school, like don't be offended by it. Like it may be a gap that need to be filled, and if you're in a position to help fill the gap, like help fill the gap. You know what I'm saying? Nah, school done started back. We happy, we excited, right? But check this out. We got to establish a routine and stick to it. So what's the routine for getting our child up? What's the routine for getting them to school? What's the routine for getting them back home from school, right? And guess what I found is very helpful? To have your child help develop the routine and the plan, because now they see what goes into it. Like as a parent, how is this gonna impact your travel time to work, from work, so on and so forth? So we don't want to miss out on that. Also, open house gonna come up. Make sure you visit open house. That way you get a chance to get to know your child teachers, get a feel for the school, and they get the opportunity to see that you're a real person and that you care. That's the moment where you get to build relationships, right? In addition to that, I want y'all to remember family time is important. One thing that I had to do was to realize now we're both getting up early in the morning, which means that we need to get into bed sooner, right? But I want to still have that bonding time. So I have to be intentional about how I manage my day. And I involve my daughter in that too. Like, hey, this is why we making these moves. So no matter what's going on, we still have some one-on-one time to spend with one another. Another point I want to make is like, we got to help our teachers. Why do we want to help our teachers? Because our teachers are teaching our children. First and foremost. So we got a lot going on in the world, right? So all that stuff we got going on, and we still have to maintain our teachers do too. And they had an awesome responsibility of imparting knowledge in our children. First thing I suggest is making sure your children fed. Make sure they eat something, right? Like think about how you feel when you hungry. That throw you off a little bit, right? You think about food, so you're not paying attention to things around you. Now imagine how that is for a child, right? Also make sure that your child getting plenty rest. But Devin, why you say make sure the child get plenty rest? Think about you, like when you going to work, right? If you had a long night, or you had uneasy sleep, you might fall asleep at the desk. You might fall asleep on the job, right? Our children, if they don't get proper rest, they fall asleep in the classroom. And not only do they miss vital information at times, they could present a distraction to other kids in that type of environment. Then I say, like, make sure that we teaching our children to respect the space. So that means respect school, respect the classroom, and respect the teacher, right? That's important. That's going to help your teacher be more focused on teaching your child, right, than doing other things. And if you up for a little extra credit, I say this: got this thing called the PTA, the Parent Teacher Association. Then you got the SAC committee. You could volunteer for the school. You could be a chaperone. All those type of things. Because a lot of times, man, I'm gonna tell you, it get easy to criticize the performance of somebody else and talk about what they do and don't deserve when you don't have to walk in their shoes. So while criticism is a part of life, accountability is a part of life, let's start bringing some solutions to the table, right? So if you got some feedback for the teacher, you got some feedback for the administration, like the best way to do that, man, is join some of these committees, man. Go to school board meetings, things like that, so you could be in the know. Let me know. Does this help? Y'all have a good one.